Hello, gorgeous. Here is how to be more social, period, and how to be more social if you're an introvert or shy. Being social doesn't take a lot of work if you break it down. It's just a matter of initiating that might seem intimidating. You can even say it's the hardest part, but it's the only challenge. Nurturing relationships, we'll get into that later, is simply a matter of consistency and repeating the easy process I'll break down for you here. Give this a like to help more people come out of their shell and make friends, and subscribe and click the bell so that you always get more from me. So just as a heads up, I'm an ambivert. This means I can turn on my social conviviality when I choose to. However, it does take a ton of energy to recharge and want to see others again for a while. So from what I have observed about full-time introverts, I learned that they have a hard time, or they have a challenging time, I should say, appreciating breaking barriers of small talk and prefer to get to the meat of the conversation. Unfortunately, that's not how the world works. Being stunned with direct dialogue can come off as rude, prying, and abrupt, but you can collect information and can communicate whatever you want as long as you do these things. So the first thing is to make light of everything. This includes your attitude, other people's heavy criticisms, whether it's toward you or someone or something else, and anything negative. So turn it around, smile, and laugh it off. Even if you don't want to, emotional control is the sexiest thing that people are attracted to. In other words, positivity. People do not smile because they are happy, they smile because they are strong. I forgot who said that quote. And people like someone who's in charge, who takes control where they can. This means they are not fazed by the extreme and do not blink if there's a loud thunderstorm outside. It's the definition of calm and cool. Nothing gets on your nerves because you worked all of that energy and anger out at the gym and meditating this morning. No biggie. There should never be anything negative escaping your lips. People should not hear you complain. You do not share bad news. When they ask you how you are, you say well because you have your health and things could be worse. It's actually quite rude to complain and highly improper. For example, if your feet hurt, say, excuse me, go and change your shoes and then come back. Next, to be the first to initiate. This is gonna just take some practice. And like anything else, it takes practice before you get good at it. First, you need to get used to the idea by actually doing it a good handful of times. I know a lot of people, clients, loved ones, family, friends, who get seriously distraught at failing the first time they try something and are hopeless about ever trying it again. And you won't get anywhere with that attitude in life. Pick yourself up and do it. You can't fail at this. You simply get up and try a new way that works for you. So remember, people love a person of action. I call this being a hero. Growing up, I used to go to church dances and music would be playing, but nobody would be on the dance floor. The problem was I could see people bobbing their heads and singing the lyrics, and you know teenagers, how they act when they absolutely love a song. I would be the first to dance like a fool and critical mass would follow. So I would be the first one who makes myself uncomfortable on the dance floor for a few minutes or for a few seconds that are really nervous and uncomfortable, but then everybody else would follow immediately. So nobody wants to be the first to dance, but everybody wants to dance. They got dressed up, they drove there, and they managed to show up, and of course they want to dance. Everybody wants to be a hero, but nobody wants to get off their butts and do it. People are generally sheep. Don't be a sheep. You will instantly stand out in a positive manner for this. Next is knowing how to initiate. So how to initiate is simple. Introduce yourself. To the guidelines of etiquette today, it is better to over-introduce yourself to people you think that you may have met before and remind them of your name. So when you see someone on their phone at a party, it's a shield. They probably don't understand how rude they are being, and they might be deathly afraid to talk to other people, so you need to approach them. You need to introduce yourself. Approach a person who's on their phone. If you see someone standing alone, approach them, introduce yourself. If there's any lull of silence, don't let there be one. Make other people feel comfortable. If you notice someone who is barely getting a word in a discussion, include them by asking what they think. Approach them. If the conversation is going dry, tell the individual you're gonna go get a drink, or you just saw a friend only if you did, so be honest. Introduce yourself to as many people as possible. This is very important. This way, when you have no idea what to say anymore after breaking the ice, you can introduce them to someone whom you just met. When you introduce the two people, Don't just give their name, share a piece of interesting information about each other, something they could potentially have in common that they can start talking about, something they are good at, or if they have met before. It helps get the sparks of the fire started, and then you can make your exit. This also gives you a chance to mingle some more, or even take a break if you've been socializing so much. Next is to not be glued to your friend. Do not be the person who's glued to one other individual. Sometimes there are people who are deathly afraid to go to a party alone, so they bring a friend. Other times there are two friends who are inseparable, who've known each other for 15 years and seem to never leave each other's side at a party. This counts for significant others. So you shouldn't stick to one person throughout a party, not even your husband or wife. Don't be that person. You are not at a party to chit-chat the whole time with your partner. You might as well would have stayed home. You are here to socialize. If you made the effort to get out, dress up, and be with other people, move your schedule around, make it worth your time. Make it so that you go home, and humans need a lot of community. Even if you deign to go out and into the traffic and to the city and go see your friends out for a get-together, it's definitely worth it. If you notice when you go home, you feel so good about talking with those people and you think, wow, we should do this more often, because humans love interaction and it's been ingrained in us for millennia and millennia. And in evolutionary psychology, humans are born much earlier than they're supposed to in their gestation period. It's just that the mother's hips cannot afford to have the baby there longer, which is why a lot of other mammals have their kids and they can automatically swim and walk right away. Humans don't do that. We don't come out saying, oh, I got a job. It's important to have that it takes a village mentality to connect with other human beings. So when you say, oh, I don't need to be social, that's actually very detrimental to your mental health. I also see that a person at the party who only knows one person very well, and they get together and their eye contact is only with that one person talking. So there could be a group of 5 people who are discussing with each other, and when they talk, they look around and they really make eye contact with everyone in the group when it's their turn. But then there's that one person who came to the party with another person. I call this the sidekick. Even if they're talking with a group, they turn to talk with that one person and make eye contact with them only. I think that's, first off, that's really, really rude. Second, that's really alienating to all the people around you. Don't do this. Etiquette is all about including other people. So don't monopolize one person. Attention is human currency. It is rude to exclude people. Etiquette is all about including everyone and giving each person a chance to shine. Next is to say yes to everything. Now that people know who you are or have scratched the surface on who you might be, they might invite you to future get-togethers. You need to say yes to all of them. Well, yes to the people that you're interested in getting to know better. And if you're not certain if you want a person to be in your circle, say yes anyway. Give them a chance to actually get to know them. And if you get invited to an event that you're not interested in, for example, if you don't like modern art and you get invited to go see a Rauschenberg exhibit, say yes anyway. This is perfect because you are there to get to know the person and you can actually focus on them. Also, you might change your mind if this person gives you a new perspective, so always be open. In addition to getting invited to an occasion you're not interested in, say you get invited to a hard rock concert and you're not into the genre or you're not into the band, invite them to do something before or after the event in that area. So this way, if they're already planning to be out, you make it really easy for them. You can talk about the event they went to beforehand or afterward and go out for drinks or for food with their excited, already radiant energy. And make sure you actually show up to the occasion that you were invited to. If you flake, they will not invite you anymore and you will only have been seen as a shallow acquaintance. On the other hand, if you can go to their events and you can feel like you both do not necessarily jive or you guys aren't really meant to be that close of friends, that's okay too. No words need to be exchanged about a social friendly breakup. Keep them as acquaintances and never burn bridges. This might change in the future and you might grow and eventually might have something new in common with each other, or they might introduce you to someone who you get on well with later down the line. Say for example, they meet someone who's interested in etiquette and they say for you, oh hey, I know an etiquette consultant, her name is Gia, check out her channel. If they didn't invite you to something, do this. add them on social media. Make sure you get their business or social card during your departure. I have social and business card etiquettes here, and it'll also be linked below. You can watch that after. If you get their contact information rather than them taking yours, you can guarantee that action will be taken so that you can reach out to them instead of waiting for a call all week long, and find a way to contact them in the future. So just get their contact information some way, somehow. This way you can invite them to something and not go alone, and you can add them on LinkedIn, Instagram, a WhatsApp group, or simply get their number. The phone number today feels so intimate and people screen texts, so treat the phone preciously and don't be pushy. If you invite them twice or thrice and they keep saying no, then stop inviting them. They're not interested and move on. If someone genuinely wants to get to know you or to see you, they will make a point to take action and find a way to meet up any way they can. This also counts for dating. You know someone likes you when you call them in the middle of the day and they stop everything they're doing just to talk with you, or they randomly skip their day of work just because you called. When there's no ambiguity, that's when you know they're interested. Next is to master small talk. This is easy. I need to put this into your head first before I give you the guide on how to master such a groundbreaking way to be able to talk with anyone, because people always ask what's the purpose of small talk, or think that it's an inane waste of time. The truth is, it is tried and tested and always works. So first off, keep it simple when you are introducing yourself to people and talking with people, because you have no idea who they are. I know it might seem boring to you, but you do not open the fridge and grab something to eat. You open the door, turn your head to look, and then grab something to eat. You don't want to just put anything into your mouth. It's wiser if you do this and more careful when considering a person's feelings. I am going to give you an example. Say if you make fun of Jews or make a joke that you think is funny about Jews, having zero idea that the other people there are Jewish and you are not. You might think this example is weird or obvious or stupid, but I have witnessed this happen. Someone has said this to me and I didn't get offended. I was just genuinely shocked on the inside, but on the outside I kept my cool and I said something really snappy. But people have a foot in their mouth all the time, and there's a chance for this. So watch your step, start slow, and a way to do this is ask, compliment, ask, comment. If you ask a question, always make a comment after their response that is at least one sentence long. And I don't mean one word, I don't mean 2 words, a full remark of what they said, paraphrased. You can restate what they said in your own words, and this is called pacing in psychology. It shows that you are actively listening, or you can make your own observation on what they had said and subsequently can ask them something else if you have more queries or need more insight. This way they don't feel like you're being abrupt or as if they are being interrogated. I see this all the time and people don't realize how pushy they are, and it's really unattractive and off-putting when someone is like bombarding you with questions. Give people some social space by adding your 2 cents in between questions. Give this a like and help more people come out of their shell and make friends. And if you want more social graces, visit my digital finishing school at dixonetiquette.com. Let me know your experiences in the comments below, and I always love hearing from you. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you later.